about how we could develop more sort of community gardens around the city, and to try and get more people involved by creating opportunities for them, where obviously they can learn the skills for gardening and other related things, and also what else could this lead on to. So what we've been talking about is what we need to do first, and of course the first thing to do is you need to have an area of land. So with talking to the people from council yesterday, we've basically found out that it's not really going to be anything of a problem to find some land. It's more of a case of identifying areas around the city that would be available, that are in good sort of condition, and where we want to start a pilot scheme. And of course, to start off, you need to start on a small, manageable level rather than trying to do 20 all at the same time or something. The next thing to do is, of course, then figure out who's going to be involved. And again, going from the beginning, you need to have people who do have a lot of knowledge in certain relevant areas, like, for example, soil testing, or people who know a lot about gardening and things like that, who would then be the ones to sort of get things started, and then, for example, provide opportunities for example, getting schools involved, and having the children come along, and so you can teach them about what's happening, and also about training other people in the community, like older school children or adults, about how they can learn skills and become part of this whole kind of project. And yeah, basically it's been very positive in terms of the number of ideas that we've got. I mean, it's just so many ideas that we've really got to keep stocking and fast tracking a bit to say, okay, wait a minute, first of all get this in place, and what we're going to do to look into this area. So yeah, I think the way that we finish is we've got a lot to get to work on, really, which I think is probably the best case scenario really from this event. So I might as well say thank you very much to everyone from Makeshift who's organised this, and everybody else, of course, who's come along and been a part of it, and contributed ideas and questions and everything like that. So I think that it has gone very, very well, and a lot has developed, and a lot is sort of now at the point where it's like, right, here we go, let's jump in and get started. So thank you.
I should have said, right, we'll do all three, and then I want you to stick your hands up, all of you pretty much, and offer something. But it'd be nice if you could all offer something for these guys to help out. So, Andy, do you want to get into it? Hi, if we haven't spoken already, my name is Andy Mabbett, and you can find me at Pigs on the Wing on Twitter if you want to send abuse directly. Could you all stand up if you're able to, please? Ready? You sit down if you have never read anything on Wikipedia. Right, so you've all read something on Wikipedia. Would you sit down if you have edited Wikipedia? If you have edited Wikipedia. So thank you to those of you who just sat down for your contributions. The rest of you haven't edited Wikipedia yet. So you may as well sit down and relax, because you need to save your energy for when you do. The Wolvopedia project, which I proposed, falls into three rough areas, each of which can have as little or as much work done on it as the people of Wolverhampton want. The first one is to train people to edit Wikipedia, to give coaching and mentoring to people who are a little bit unsure about doing that. You don't need training to edit Wikipedia. You can all go home and do it this evening, and I hope you will. But some people like a bit of support, so it would offer that sort of training and mentoring once the training has been received. The second part of Wolvopedia, and the big part would be the content creation. So we're getting people to write new articles about anything to do with Wolverhampton that isn't already covered on Wikipedia, whether that's local history, a local building, an election from the Victorian era, a significant and notable company, or whatever. We would write an article about it if there isn't already one, and if there is one, we would aim to improve it by adding references, by adding detail, and by adding photographs and other media, and we would get people as part of the project to go out and take photographs and upload them to Wikimedia Commons, the image repository for Wikipedia, under an open license, allowing everybody to share and reuse them. And again, you can all do that already. You don't need a big project for that. People do it every day. I do it. Several of the people here do it. Please contribute. The third part of Wolvopedia would involve putting QR codes. These are the square crossword-like barcodes that you've seen in adverts onto notable buildings and notice boards and the basis of statues and so on, so that people can scan them and go to the Wikipedia article on their mobile device and read about it. How often do you walk around a city and you think, well, that's an interesting old building, but I don't know anything about it? Well, there's a blue plaque that tells me Fred Smith, the poet, lived in this building, but I don't know who Fred Smith was or whether he was a good or a bad poet. I'd like to read a bit more. These codes would allow you to do that sort of thing. They're very clever, because the way we implement them on Wikipedia is when you scan them, we detect the language that your mobile device is using. So if you're a French tourist, or a Japanese business person, or a Russian student visiting Wolverhampton, you could get an article in your language, written by people who speak that language fluently. It's not a Google translation, it's a proper human authored article. So part of the work we could do as outreach with the training would be to go to people in community groups, to go to gurdwaras and temples, or community centres, or language colleges, and speak to people who are fluent in other languages and teach them how to edit Wikipedia. Now, as I've already intimated, Wolvopedia has already started. It starts as soon as you go home and write an article, or upload one of the photographs you've taken this weekend, or are about to take, under an open licence. But how much more we do on this project depends on how much resource we can put into it. The plaques cost money to produce. They could be ceramic, or plastic, or metal, or engraved wood, and there's no doubt other things you can make them from. Somebody has to go and fix them to the buildings or the statues or the notice boards. The training takes time and money. If the project gets sufficiently large, it will need some project management. So what we really need more than anything else is a source of funding or some advice on applying for funding from somewhere. And I'm open to suggestions for that. And that, in a nutshell, is Wolvopedia. I hope we can count on your support. Thank you very much.